no. Welcome to the September reset, you guys. I can't believe I'm saying it. September is here. This is one of my favorite months of the year. September is such a fresh start month. I feel like it is so ingrained in us because of the back to school calendar always starting in September. At least I know for me. Even though I've been out of school for a long time, September is like, yep, it's time to get back to work. It's time to get back into it. I also just love how September is such a hybrid between summer and fall. It's just such a good month and I'm so excited to be sitting here ready to ring it in with you guys. Today I wanted to actually try a new format of reset video where I combine my how I budget for a new month with my reset vlogs and just kind of have a sit down chatty reset where we're not only budgeting for the new month, but also just kind of getting our mind right, setting some goals and reflecting for the new month. So I'm pretty much squishing everything all in together. I would love to hear from you what you think of this new format. I also want to give a shout out to Sanchari, who told me she liked this background in one of my latest vlogs. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to film the reset here. So we're really just going to be mixing the personal with the personal finance. And I really like that because I feel like sometimes my content can be so separated when really the whole point of my channel, and especially as it pertains to the money side of my channel, is to show you guys a real person's finances and make it feel approachable and accessible and like you were talking about it with a friend. But that being said, if you were chatting with your friend on FaceTime, you wouldn't only talk about money. So I just kind of wanted to weave in some other personal elements in here. And if you guys are like, Zoe, we hate it, we'll go back to the old format. Hi guys, pardon the interruption, but I think you're gonna wanna hear this. The Line and I are offering a back to school sale on Gentle Productivity Planners. 25% off, you guys. This is the biggest sale that we've ever done, plus free shipping if you live in North America. This sale will not last forever, so go check it out. I will link everything down below. Also, a moment for my long hair. I don't even recognize myself. So I have my little notebook here. This is technically supposed to be my wedding planning notebook, but there's so many pages that I was like, this is also gonna be a non-wedding planning. Now, I know that most of September is technically still summer, and I'm sure you guys have experienced on social media, there is like Team Fall who are already drinking pumpkin spice lattes and putting out their fall decor, ordering Uggs, whatever. And then there's team holding on to summer. I definitely fall somewhere in between. I feel like last year I wanted to get on the social media bandwagon and start like ushering in fall early. But at the end of the day, I also feel like we should just respect the seasons and go by what it feels like outside. So I'm really choosing to see September as this kind of hybrid and as this transitional month. I'm not gonna start drinking pumpkin spice just yet, but I am gonna start locking in a little bit more productivity wise and bringing out some of my sweaters, some more of my like striped and cozier clothes, but I'm not breaking out the Uggs just yet. So as we start to transition into a new season, I wanted to reflect with you guys on some things that I did this summer that really made me feel great that I want to continue and bring into September and into the fall season as well. So the first thing that I did really well this summer that I'm so proud of is I really feel like I took better care of myself. I really got better at drinking more water. I really also started putting myself together more, and that was a big change for me because as someone who works from home, as someone who does not see a lot of people, given what I do for work, I would have weeks at a time where I would not put on any makeup. I didn't care about my hair. I would wear sweatpants every single day. And like it or not, that does have an effect on our confidence. I've also realized that I'm not someone who loves wearing makeup every single day and definitely not a full face, but I feel like I've just kind of nailed down this routine of a concealer. I love putting on a blush, and sometimes I'll put just like a bronzer or a highlighter. It's a special day if I put on mascara, but just doing that has made me feel so much more confident. Another thing that I started doing is actually doing my hair every time I shower. I used to never do my hair, and my hair was always a source of like the opposite of confidence, of not confidence. What's that word? What's the word that I'm thinking of? My hair was always a sore spot for me, and now I really like my hair because I put in the time to do it. Similar to that, and this one's a little bit more recent, but I've really started taking better care of my home and keeping my space more clean. I actually just finished filming a deep clean and declutter. You guys will see that video after this one. I started following this person on Instagram, and she is a mom of 4. And she is just like adamant about keeping her house clean and how much better that makes her feel. I have gotten so inspired by that, and I'm just really trying sort of one room at a time. And actually it's funny, as I look around the room right now, it's a total mess because tore apart my closet yesterday. You guys will see it in that vlog. But every night before I go to bed, I will make sure that the kitchen counter is totally cleared off, and I will fluff my couch. I also make sure that I make my bed every single day, and I make sure that I vacuum pretty much every single day to get rid of Maggie's hairs. It seriously makes such a difference and takes so little time. Going back to the whole putting yourself together thing, I just imagined that having to do my makeup or having to do my hair and having to keep my home clean, that these would take hours every single day. All of that, the cleaning and the putting yourself together, is probably less than an hour. And all of that makes you feel so much better. So it is so worth it to just put in that time every single day. So these are habits that I want to keep doing throughout September, into the fall, and definitely into the winter, because that is where things can take a turn. But we're not there yet. We don't need to think about winter yet. Moving over to some money stuff, one thing that was really great this summer was this was the first summer where I really didn't stress about money that much. If you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you know that my income always takes a dip in the summertime, and this is something that has just made me really stressed, is feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm not earning as much, not having confidence that it will go back up in the fall, feeling like I want to keep striving towards my saving and investing and net worth goals, while at the same time not earning as much as I would need to enjoy summertime, like go out to eat and, you know, have fun, because everything these days costs money, and then also have money to put aside. This was the first summer where I was able to take the pressure off of myself, because earlier in the year I worked so hard at my saving and investing. I knew that if my income dipped in the summertime, which it did, that I could allow myself to relax a little bit more, keep enjoying summer, and know that in the fall it's going to pick back up and I'll be able to continue working towards my goals. I also feel like just taking the pressure off myself allowed things to go better than expected. I know that when I'm really stressed, I end up spending more money because I will shop to soothe my anxiety, or I will go out to eat to soothe my anxiety. When it came to spending this summer, I really focused on the things that truly bring me joy, and at the end of the day, that leads to spending less overall. So big win there. This summer was also the first time where I actually spent more money on experiences and food than on stuff. Usually I am like redoing my whole wardrobe for summer, buying into all these trendy pieces. I am so happy to say, you guys, I only bought one butter yellow thing and it was on sale. I really withheld from jumping on those really short-lived trends. Like, have we all noticed how short-lived certain trends are? It'll be like, oh, butter yellow is the color of the summer, and then once July is past, like, we don't care about butter yellow anymore. So by resisting temptation earlier on in the summer, I was able to kind of let those trends pass. I used to be that person who was like, I don't like spending on food, but I really changed my mentality to spending on food was also spending on quality times with friends or with family. And so that's where a lot more of my money went this summer, and it led to just more enjoyable moments rather than more stuff. So now that we've made those reflections, I want to open up my laptop and close out August budget. I'm opening up my budget tracker from The Line, and I'm just going to dive into my expense summary from August. I will put a screenshot up on the screen so you can follow along with me. Starting off with groceries, I budgeted $450 and ended up spending $20 over. This is actually really good because I spent $150 on coffee beans. Yeah, I spent a lot of money on coffee beans. I ordered 5 pounds from this Toronto roaster called DeMello. We've pretty much settled that those are our favorite beans, JS and I. He was ordering like these tiny bags and we were always running out, and then I was going out for coffee. So I was like, F it, I'm buying a huge bag and that's that. So out of this $468 spent, $150 was on that big bag of beans. Now that being said, I always know that when I don't buy a lot of groceries, I end up dining out a lot, which I did. I originally budgeted $200 for dining out and ended up giving myself $50 from a different cash envelope, from a different budget category. If you're like, what the heck is a cash envelope? We'll see those later. And I still went over by also $20. So $268 was spent on dining out. Some of this was dinners out and some of this was just like snacks and little coffees on the go, because we were on the go a lot in August. Honestly, no regrets, like having fun, we're good. To me though, I'm taking this as a learning opportunity, and for September, I do want to budget more for dining out and more for groceries as well. It's just really seeming like this is the area that I'm spending on the most. Rather than going over every single month and seeing the red and feeling a little bit bad, I'm just gonna increase those budgets by a little bit just to give me that buffer and to give me that confidence. I should pretty much just delete the coffee category at this point because I've really just looped it in with dining out. I really do my best. I went from going out for coffee multiple times a week to maybe once a week. And I always try and treat going out for coffee as an opportunity for social time. So I'll meet up with a friend, or I'll use it as an opportunity to get work done. So I just never go buy a coffee and go for a walk anymore. I will make a coffee at home and take it with me on my walk. And I know it's like $5, $6, $7 each time that you save. And I've definitely seen those pictures or those reels or whatever about how no matter what, that's not gonna add up to you buying a house. But just because you're not gonna save enough to buy a house doesn't mean that you're not gonna apply that money to something else. So to me, it's just about keeping it a special occasion rather than an everyday occurrence that really does add up at the end of the day. I was pretty much right on budget in the Maggie category. I budgeted $200 and spent $201. In the home category, okay, we went crazy, you guys. We really went crazy in the home category. I bought a lot of stuff. I did. I love spending on my home. I just love it. I'm not even gonna like pretend to be mad here. I just freaking love it. I bought some fake hydrangeas. I bought a bunch of organization stuff for the closet, which you will see both of those in the next vlog that is to come. I just love it. I just love it. For personal care, I budgeted $50 and spent $54 actually, so $4 over. I just bought some skincare stuff from the pharmacy that I really needed, so this was perfect. Treat yourself, nothing. However, I would say that my treat yourself moment was really spending on the home, like buying those organization things and the hydrangeas. I bought these like fake hydrangeas. They were really a treat yourself moment, but I'll allocate it in the home category. Originally, I had budgeted $50 and that's where I gave it to my dining out. The next category was gifts. I budgeted $400 for gifts and spent a little under $400. I spent $356. Now this is a huge gifts budget, but it's because I really love my boyfriend. It was his birthday at the beginning of the month and he wanted a weighted vest, which I knew was gonna be so expensive. He wanted this one specific brand that was an American brand and the shipping was really expensive. I was actually able to find a Canadian alternative where the product itself was cheaper and the shipping was cheaper. So that was a huge win and I didn't end up spending quite as much as $400. I was also able to get him little extra things to throw on top of that because I saved money on the vest. Anyway, I'm happy to spoil him, but thank God his birthday is only once a year. I budgeted $30 for transportation and didn't end up refilling my Metro card. Nothing for books this month. I haven't even bought gas yet. My gas tank is running on empty, but we'll just put that into September's budget. I budgeted $275 for health and wellness. For me, this category would be things like the dentist, it's my monthly massage, it's any acupuncture or physio. This month I only did my monthly massage. I've kind of stopped going to physio because I just cannot bring myself to do the exercises that they give me. I know I need to do them. But anyways, I just canceled my appointment and once I start doing my exercises, then I'll go back. However, you guys, I am really excited because I have booked a facial acupuncture appointment for September. I'm so excited to give it a try because I know I hold so much tension in my face. So I'm really excited to see if that can like loosen up the tension. It's also supposed to be really good for like wrinkle prevention and stuff, so that'll be a fun bonus. I budgeted $20 and spent $12.75 on parking. I didn't pay for any workouts this month. Car stuff, I spent $50. I don't even know what that was. At the beginning of August, I was actually still in Florida and I gave myself like a $200 budget. There was also budget in July. I spent $184. Nothing on sewing, nothing on clothing, so that is great. So as you guys can see by all of the categories that we just went over, that is my variable spending. So it doesn't include my rent, it doesn't include my bills, my Netflix, my phone bill, none of that is included there. My total spending in all of those categories came to $2,100, which was actually $100 less than I budgeted. So that's everything I spent in August. I definitely think September spending will go down because there won't be, I don't plan on spending $300 for the home. I am gonna give myself a little bit of a budget because let's be real, later in September when it comes time to start shopping for some fall home stuff, like that is the best feeling. And then a big chunk of that budget was also towards JS's birthday gift, which will not be happening next month. Also, you guys, if you are following along with my wedding planning series, I did not include any wedding stuff, engagement party stuff in this budget. This is my personal budget and I'm tracking everything spending for the wedding separately. So usually when we go over what I spent in a month, I will also take the time to empty my cash envelopes. However, these are already empty. I already took everything out. Most of the categories where I overspent were cash categories. So I was like passing money around and yeah, they're totally empty. So we will refill them at the end of this video. I wanted to touch on my credit cards, my bills, my saving, and my investing quickly. As the end of the month rolls near, I always make sure that I pay off my credit cards first. To me, that just gives me like the peace of mind. I do not want to incur credit card debt. I do not want to pay for credit card interest. So I make sure that they're paid off. I have 2 credit cards, a MasterCard and an American Express. At the same time that I pay off my credit cards, I will also pay my rent. And I just want you guys to visualize how I do this. I sit down at my desk, I have a little paper in front of me, and I will write down MasterCard, X amount, check, paid it off as soon as I send the payment. Same thing for my American Express, check, paid it off. Same thing for my rent, because I just really like that physical feeling of checking off on a piece of paper. So I will do all of those things. Then I will go and transfer money to my savings or my investments. Now in July, I was able to make huge strides towards my savings. I was able to fill up my emergency fund. I was able to fill a lot of my sinking funds because I had oversaved for my taxes by quite a bit of money. That really took a lot of the pressure off me in August, as I knew it was going to be a little bit more of an expensive month. I kind of just gave myself the month off from saving, which some of you might not agree with, but it's my decision. So that's what I did. Now that being said, as I sat down and looked at my income for the month, I actually had a really great month of income. This was due to all the hard work that I did in July. Because I'm a freelancer, I always get paid the following month. So I worked really hard in July and had some nice payouts in August. One of my payments is delayed, which is why I wasn't able to make this transfer yet. But once my rent was paid, once my credit cards were paid off, whatever is left is what I will always put towards saving or investing. This month, that entire payment that is on its way to me of a little over $700, I'm going to take off a certain percentage for tax, and the rest of it I'm going to put towards my TFSA, which is going to contribute towards my net worth. You guys, I am so close to a net worth of 100K. I am going to update, actually I need to do that. I need to update as soon as I receive that payment and make the transfer, I'm gonna update my net worth tracker. I think I'm only a few $1,000s away at this point, which is so exciting. So stay tuned for that video when I hit $100,000 net worth. So that's pretty much everything for closing out August. Now we get to start to look at September. Stepping out of the money talk for a second, going back into the personal. I don't have any like big concrete goals for September. At least they haven't come to me yet. I haven't yet taken the time to sit down and reflect on the month and do my journaling. The reason for that is my engagement party is coming up this weekend. Okay, spoiler alert, we're like 2 days away from September as I'm filming this. All I can think about is my engagement party. My phone is blowing up with people asking me questions, and that is just really consuming my brain right now. I feel like once that's done, I'll really be able to slip into September and start to think about my goals. If any of you guys have been engaged and have planned a wedding, I just feel like it's consuming my whole life right now, and it's a little bit hard to think about personal goals and career stuff, which I don't like. I don't like that the wedding stuff is just like taking over my life. I really want to find a way to come back to myself and set some personal goals. I will say actually one goal that I have for September is I really want to focus on productivity content and money saving content. I feel like I wasn't the best at that over the summer because let's be real, nobody's thinking about that over the summertime. But now that we're coming back into that productivity season, there is a lot of stuff that I want to share with you guys and also just remind myself of. So that's going to be a big goal for September, I think. I also just really want to keep focusing on all of those things that we spoke about at the beginning of the video, those things that make you feel good. And I think that all comes down to prioritizing myself, prioritizing putting myself together instead of just rolling out of bed and looking at my computer screen, prioritizing taking the time to keep my house clean instead of, again, because it is, you guys, I am so bad. Like I will just stare at my computer and stare at my phone all day. Like I can get into these modes where I'm so obsessed with productivity that I really put productivity before myself. And that leads to me feeling not so great. So for September and moving forward, I need to stay my number one priority. And I really do believe that when you prioritize yourself, everything else will just fall into place. One thing that really helps keep me sane is my Gentle Productivity Planner. I have a brand new matcha one that I'm going to open up. I was gonna do it for September, but I think I'm actually gonna save it for October. So this is the planner that I designed in collaboration with The Line. They are a stationery company based out of Vancouver. And you guys, we have decided to offer a fat discount, okay? A fat discount for back to school. The Gentle Productivity Planners are now going to be 25% off with free shipping in North America. So it's a perfect chance to get your hands on one, to grab a new one for the new season. The sale will not last forever either, so check it out. This is a tool that I use every single day. I swear by it. The inside pages are amazing. It's like a journal and an agenda in one. It's so good. So I'm gonna open back up my computer and we are going to finish this video by stuffing my cash envelopes. I have been doing cash envelopes for a few years now, you guys. This changed the game when it comes to my budgeting, and there is no better time than September than that back to school feeling, that back to productivity feeling. If you want to try them, if you have felt like you cannot get your finances in order, you cannot control your spending, you need to check out cash envelopes. They are also from The Line. My whole cash envelope kit is from The Line. I actually started cash envelopes in the fall, and I feel like this will mark 3 or 4 years. I can't remember now, but it's been a while. Since I started doing cash envelopes, my budget was always around $1,000. Some months I would bring it up and then I would always end up trying to bring it down to 1,000. That being said, I do feel like when I try and constrict my spending a little too much, it's so easy to go over. And once you go over budget, it's so easy to continue going over because we just have that mentality of like, well, I already failed, so I may as well continue failing. I feel like that happened to me a little bit this month with dining out. It just felt like I couldn't reel it in or keep it under control. So to try and help kind of reel my spending back in, I'm going to actually increase my budget only by a little bit, which I know sounds funny and sounds kind of counterintuitive, but the feeling of having money left over at the end of the month is so good. And then I can take that money and put it into savings. So I'm gonna try using that as an enticement, and we'll see how it works in next month's monthly reset. So I'm actually gonna give myself $500 for groceries this month. 100, 200, 2, 4, 6, 8, 300, 2, 4, 6, 8, 400, 2, 4, 60, 70, 80, 90, $500. I love mixing in small bills whenever I have the chance because it is so satisfying when you go to buy something and you're paying with cash and you have exact change. It's the best feeling. The next category is dining out, and we're going to do $300, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, and $300. The next category is Maggie. For this month, I'm going to do $150, 2, 4, 6, 8, 100, 2, 4, 6, wait, what am I doing? 20, 40, and 50. I think we'll actually do 3 10s. Look at that, right? 50, 150, beautiful. The next category is home. I'm giving myself a $100 budget, and let me know, you guys, if I should take you along to HomeSense with me so we can spend it. Let me know. $100. For personal care, I'm doing only $25 because I don't think there's that much that I'm going to need. And we all know I don't do my nails anymore. I don't do my eyebrow, I don't do anything. So 25 bucks should be good. Next is transportation. I am going to do $35, which is exactly how much it costs to buy. I think it's exactly, I'm gonna give myself an extra 5 actually, just because I have some extra money lying around. We'll do $40 then for transportation. This is to buy a 10-pack pass on the Metro, which It just depends how much I'm measuring around. This could either last me 2 weeks or it could last me the whole month or even longer, but 40 bucks, 10 passes. The last cash category for this month is The last cash category for this month is treat yourself. For treat yourself, I am doing $100. So then we have the satisfaction of clipping everything inside the binder. I always say this, but this is my favorite part. And that's what's so fun about switching to Catch envelopes. You get this gorgeous binder, you get to organize your money. It makes money feel so fun and it makes money feel so tangible. I just love it so much. So here we have pretty much my full spending budget for September. Financially, I am feeling so ready for this new month. I just need to sit down and reflect a little bit more personally. This is where I'm going to wrap up this video. The next video you see from me will be the deep clean and declutter, followed by my engagement party vlog. Thank you so much for watching. Comment something pink if you watched all the way to the end. I love seeing who stuck around to the end, and I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye. Cheers to September.